The NBA has doomed the New York Knicks. They recently released the Christmas Day schedule, and the Knicks are playing on Christmas Day. But when I looked at the schedule, my Christmas dream turned into a nightmare. We're going to break down who the Knicks are facing on Christmas Day and why I think it's such a problem. We're also going to look at the Knicks preseason schedule, as most of it has already been revealed. We're going to break down all of this and so much more today. Let's get started. The New York Knicks Christmas Day opponent has been revealed. Thanks to Shams of The Athletic, we now know what teams are going to be playing on Christmas Day. According to Shams from The Athletic, it's going to be the Bucks versus the Knicks, the Celtics versus the Lakers, the Mavericks versus the Suns, and the Warriors versus the Nuggets. All of these games are happening on Christmas Day. And you heard that right. The New York Knicks will host Giannis and the Bucks at MSG this Christmas. I don't know about you, but after hearing this news, that hope of having a great Christmas throughout the entire day has evaporated for me, because likelihood is this Knicks game against the Bucks is going to go on at 12 p.m. because that's normally when the Knicks play. And if that's the case, that means I gotta watch a similar type of game that I watched last year when it was Knicks versus Sixers. But you could make the argument that the Bucks are an even harder team than the Sixers, and we're facing them this year. The Bucks have a shot to be the number one seed this year again. So they might be number one, and we could face them on Christmas Day. It does not get any harder than that. Giannis himself, superstar, Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez, Drew Holiday. They have a squad over there, and that squad has been playing together for quite some time. So they're going to be a formidable opponent, and the New York Knicks are going to have to bring their A game. Is it impossible for the Knicks to win? Obviously not, because you're going to have that leadership in Jalen Brunson out there, and Jalen Brunson's always going to make this New York Knicks team competitive, regardless of who they're playing or what that score is. So I'm not worried about the competition level. However, the talent level on both rosters are extremely different. And not only that, the Milwaukee Bucks have always given the Knicks problems, but if they're a number one seed when we face them, that could just make things so much worse. Now, obviously, you hope the Knicks are gaining momentum going into this Christmas Day game, so hopefully they can pull off an upset, beat the Bucks, and get one over on them. I think that would be great for all New Yorkers to see. But if you're a betting man and you're putting money on this game, I feel very, very bad to say you should put that money on the Knicks, because I'd be lying. If I'm putting my money on a team on Christmas Day between the Bucks and the Knicks, and I love my Knicks to death, I got to say the Bucks, because realistically, I think they're probably going to be one of the best teams in the NBA this year. If that's the case, it's going to be hard for the New York Knicks to get past that team, just like it was hard for them to get past the 76ers last year. And the problem is, sometimes it's not about the stars, because we allow other players, sometimes role players, to step into MSG, wear a Superman type of cape, and just do whatever they want to do, play the type of game they're comfortable with, and allowing them to shine. And if the Knicks are going to have any chance at all to beat the Bucks this year on Christmas Day, they're absolutely going to need to find a way to be able to stop what the Bucks can do, but also not allow any one of these random people that the Bucks have either in their starting unit or off the bench to go off. Because if that happens, the Knicks absolutely have no shot of winning this game. I'm happy that the Knicks are playing on Christmas Day. For me, that's a tradition that should never be broken. I know there was a year that the Knicks didn't play on Christmas, and that was a heartbreaking year for me and many Knicks fans. We obviously want to see every single team play on Christmas. I'm sure many teams want to see their team play during Christmas. However, there's only so much amount of teams that can play on that day, and I'm very happy that the Knicks were chosen to play on Christmas Day. I just wish the NBA didn't doom the Knicks and gave them a better opponent on Christmas Day. But they gave them likely what's going to be the top-seeded Bucks in the East on Christmas Day. It's going to be a great game to watch, but definitely nerve-wracking to say the least. The New York Knicks preseason schedule has been revealed. Thanks to New York Basketball on Twitter, we now know basically all of the preseason games that the New York Knicks are going to play going into next season. According to New York Knicks Basketball, the Knicks have not announced their preseason schedule, but we already know most of it. On Monday, October 9th at 7:30 p.m., you got the Celtics at the New York Knicks. So you got Celtics and Knicks on October 9th. On Saturday, October 14th at 7:30 p.m., you got the T-Wolves at the Knicks. And then you have on Tuesday, October 17th at 7:30 p.m., the Knicks against the Celtics. So obviously, these are not all the games the New York Knicks are going to be playing, but these are most of the games that's going to be on the preseason schedule. And I think it's interesting that the Knicks are playing the Celtics twice during this preseason schedule, because the Celtics, who just got KP, are going to be a formidable force in the East themselves as well, too. They're going to be a juggernaut, I believe, too, even if they traded Smart. I think KP's addition, if he's healthy for them, is so important and impactful for that team, so you can't sleep on Boston. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what Boston does to fill some of the holes that they traded away in Marcus Smart and some of these other key players that they had. It's going to be interesting to see what lineup the Celtics provide and put out there during these preseason games with the New York Knicks. I'm curious to see how Derek White is going to be used moving forward with the Celtics, because I think he might start for the C's in place of Marcus Smart in the starting lineup now. Only time will tell, but it looks like that's the move the Celtics are going to make, and I would like to see the Knicks challenged and tested by this. It's also going to be interesting to see who gets the bulk of the minutes during preseason for Tom Thibodeau. Is he just going to run the starting unit out there that he's going to play during the regular season? Is he going to start more realistic basketball lineups as he gets closer to the regular season? All of these things are great questions, and I'm sure we're going to have them answered as preseason starts. But I like the fact that the Knicks are going up against the Celtics, because for me, that's always a matchup that I like to watch. I also want to see how the Knicks stack up against a loaded team like the Celtics. Now, obviously, it's preseason, and everybody shouldn't make a big deal of preseason or exhibition warm-up matches, because that's what they are, essentially exhibitions. However, I think all of us at this point in time always take those exhibition games and think they mean just a little bit more, especially when we watch our teams go through it. Now, I'm not saying we take it as everything, but we use it as a basis to think of how this player is going to look, feel, and be moving into the season. And sometimes the regular season doesn't match what you did in the preseason. Sometimes you could do very poorly in the preseason and do very well in the regular season. So it's going to be interesting to see which New York Knicks players have that type of dynamic and who come into training camp focused, locked in, and ready to take one of those starting positions if they're up for grabs. But if you pull up the schedule again, they also face the Timberwolves on the 14th. And I find that funny because the Karl Anthony Towns to the New York Knicks have been a rumor for the last few months heading into the offseason and currently in this offseason. But the preseason absolutely gives you a glimpse into the players that we followed all offseason, see the upgrades that they made to their game and what they're going to bring into next season. One player specifically that I'm looking for a huge jump from, and maybe this is a lot to ask, but I don't care. I'm going to say it anyways. Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson has come off of one of his best years of his entire career last season. He's playing with Team USA this year for FIBA. And now he's going to take all of that experience, all that practice, all that scrimmaging into training camp. And then that means that in training camp, he's not only going to be locked in and focused, but he's going to be on point as soon as the regular season starts. But I feel like if Jalen Brunson can thrive at that level with Team USA, he will definitely be able to do that with the New York Knicks. And a pass-first Jalen Brunson is a deadly point guard in this league because he can get his bucket whenever he wants. But if you can't anticipate when he's going to pass the ball, pass that rock, move the ball around the key, try to get to the open man or a better shot, or maybe pass to get the ball right back to him to make a mid-range, it just gives Jalen Brunson so many more open weapons tools, and things at his disposal that he can use to take this New York Knicks team to the next level. And we're not going to have to wait long. As we just heard, these preseason games are in October. He's already playing in Team USA, so if you can't get enough of basketball, you can watch the Team USA scrimmages that are happening now and the FIBA World Cup for men's basketball at the end of this month, because that's going to be going on as well too. Obviously, we're going to have the preseason coming in as well, where we're going to have Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, and all of our favorite Knicks playing at a high level to see what they can do and what they've changed in their game heading into next season. I'm so happy I got to see these schedules drop, because now I know when to expect basketball. I got Team USA basketball scrimmaging going on right now that I get to watch. I got basketball for Team USA for the FIBA World Cup happening at the end of the month that I get to watch. And now I see the Christmas Day as well as the preseason schedule for the Knicks. And that also makes me happy, because that just means more basketball, and basketball is close and on its way. And I love the game of basketball. I love the New York Knicks. I love covering this game, this sport, and all of these great news articles that come out about this team. But more importantly, I just love watching players develop. And during this preseason, when we get to watch these Knicks players again, I absolutely think we're going to see a leap and a jump, not only from Jalen Brunson, but from a number of Knicks players. If you like this video, go ahead and leave a comment below, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans. Peace.